Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I will start with this one just to remind you that the long-term outlook, that is to say through the rest of the year, remains bullish above 181.20, expecting roughly 219.64. Actually, what we are expecting are these upper levels. There's a rising channel top this week at 227.95, and there's also this full kind of ABC count. I don't know if you can see it right here, but that is nothing more than the 2022 low following a one-year bear market. Significant. Doesn't look significant on the chart, but it is if you put it in the proper context. And so if you take the January high, you subtract that preceding long-term low A, and then you add that back to C, which is the April low, you come up with 228.94. It coincides pretty well with 219.64, which is a full wave count from BC alone, B minus C plus B. And we also have a rising channel top, a steeply rising channel top at 227.95. On the daily chart, it looks something like this. 219.64 is that B minus C plus B I just showed, and 227.38 is this rising channel top from this April low. So this is like, what, a 7-month structure, roughly. As it turns out, just about a week ago, we closed above this 202.22 rising channel top. That set up a secondary buy signal that is expecting to yield this upper area. This could be within 2 to 3 days. This could be 2 to 3 weeks. On the way up, we do have 214.48. I'm keeping it as just a soft intraday pivot point because of the still relatively heightened volatility. But, you know, if you trade the session containment levels, I think you can trade 214.48. In other words, we just might top out there for the day. And from there, might we fall away to 202.22? I mean, anything is possible, certainly. But given the fact that we're expecting that 227.38 rising channel top over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would rather you sell 214.48 in order to take profits on a long position that you may establish or has already been established following the settlement about a week ago above the 202.22 formation. You could bottom pick 202.22 and within several days reach 214.48. I will say that if we push through 214.48 today, we could see 219.64 on an intraday basis, where once again, we can top out for the week. And given the fact that it's part of a wide zone up to 228.94, you may sell this. So how should I phrase this? If you've been long for the last, month or so, whatever the case may be, you can take profits, at least some profits, in this upper 220s, let's call it. Should you sell the upper 220s short? Well, I don't like to get involved in that because I don't think there's any right answer, actually.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the QQQ, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
If you are adept at playing both sides of the market, if you're an experienced swing trader, I have no problem selling that upper area because we can fall back into the low 200s or even the 180s over the following month, 2 or 3. So keep that in mind. But you could also wait for selling it on weakness. It's just that at this point in time, I don't see any weakness developing as we move into next week and into later November unless we were to close back below 202.22 today. So until then, all of these minor points are carefully chosen. They're all very tradable for day traders, but just know that holding above 202.22 will keep 214.48 in reach, possibly today, 219.64 between now and the end of next week, and that 227.38 formation expected over the next 2 to 3 weeks, where we could top out on a monthly basis, possibly into Q1. There's just a lot going on there. Now, of course, if we were to close above all this, especially the upper 220s in the coming week, 2 or 3, this market, believe it or not, becomes increasingly vertical and high volatility. So we'll just kind of see how that all plays out. Let's talk downside. 202.22 can be bought. Not only on a day trade basis, but as I've already said, on a 2 to 3 week basis, anticipating the upper 220s over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we do close today back below 202.22, I do think that this lower 180s becomes a realistic 2 to 3 week target. Closing back below 202.22 is in itself a rejection of a meaningful buy signal. When we closed above it, solid buy signal into the, let's just call it the 220s. And if we close back below it, the lower 180s are in play again, where we can bottom out, as I say, through the rest of the year, 180, 120. Now, on the way down, we do have some points. I don't expect to see them today. I don't expect to see a violation of 202.22, but if we do break 202.22, 200.56 in reach today. And that is actually, this is really a range. I'm throwing 200.56 in there as what I would call kind of an intraday slippage factor below 202.22. But if we do close today below 200.56, we'd really have a bit of a double sell signal. Not only back below this channel top, which is a rejection of a 2 to 3 week buy signal, that is unto itself a sell signal, but also just closing back below that 1 week channel bottom at 200.56 should yield within 1 to 3 days, 193.82. Within 2 to 3 weeks, 184.03, which is, for all intents and purposes, kind of the beginning of a range down to 180.89 that can then absorb selling through the rest of the year. So closing below not only 202.22, but I'll take us back to this chart, also below 200.56. This is not going to happen today, but if it did, we would expect the low 180s within 2 or 3 weeks, where we can bottom out through the rest of the year. Once tested, round up again into the 219 to 220 area, as I've already shown here, and will again on this chart. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Anything I would say beyond what I already have would be repetitious, and so I'm going to leave it at that for Tuesday's Daily NVIDIA Report. You have a great day.